Hi folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. Have a quick prepping tip for you. If you buy anything normally coming out of China, you probably want to stock up on it. And that's what I want to talk about today. Something that kind of hit the news a little bit yesterday, and it's kind of slowly coming out. And I don't think too much of the mainstream is going to want to touch this one. But, well, China, as we all know, they're very ridiculously extreme when it comes to their lockdowns and their reaction to this global health crisis. And, you know, they'll get just a few positive cases. And this is all according to their news, according to what they say, okay? I get it. But they may only have just a few positive cases and they lock down an entire city. Well, they are doing that more, and they're doing it in cities that have the big manufacturing and the ports. In fact, there are reports now that they are locking down some of the port cities in China. These are port cities that transport goods to the United States. And this was in the news yesterday and today talking about that. Now, how is that going to affect us? I mean, I know a lot of us, including myself, just don't really like buying stuff made in China. I get it. And we do our best not to. But the fact is that over $500 billion of Chinese goods get imported in the United States every year. So it's a lot. And they are now locking down some of their ports. If you own a Toyota car, I noticed this, I was reading through it, that Toyota, their manufacturing plant and where they normally ship stuff out, they're locking that area down because they've had too many positive cases in that area. So, you know, you might want to check on parts and stuff. Do you have enough parts to get you through if something breaks down? Because it's possible, not 100%, but possible. Parts to those could be hard to get if they're coming from China. This is just going to exacerbate an already very frail and falling apart supply chain system that we've talked about even just as yesterday, where the empty store shelves are becoming more and more prevalent. Yesterday we focused mostly on food, and there are some foods that come from China, but there's just a lot of stuff that comes from China, and those shelves are starting to get bare also. And so how will this just make things worse? You know, they're talking about not necessarily every city and every port that deals with manufacturing and export, but certainly several. The reports that I was reading listed 3 to 4 major cities, major port cities. They're saying that they're going to try to redirect that stuff into the ports that are still open and running, but that's going to create even more congestion and even more backlog. I guess one of the silver linings in it is that we can probably hear leadership in this country say, oh, the U.S. ports aren't nearly as congested as they once were. See, we fixed it. They just stopped sending ships over. I mean, hey, that's a good way to fix all that port congestion in LA, is just stop the, you know, ships that are coming in, and meaning that there's just no goods coming in. Folks, it's just one hit after another. I am a believer that this is orchestrated. Maybe not all of you follow that, and that's okay. But the fact is, it's just been one debacle after another when it comes to supply chain, shipping, products, everything. It's a perfect storm of events that is just completely breaking down our supply chain system all over. And even though not everything comes from China, and a lot of people say, well, that's good, that'll just mean more people will buy American stuff. The problem is that there's a lot of these items that we get from China, we get from them because we don't make them. It's not like we have an option on everything to either purchase Chinese goods or to purchase American goods. A lot of this stuff, that's the only place you can get it from. And now they're locking down several ports. They're locking down several cities. These are manufacturing cities where a lot of the plants are at that are making the stuff that gets shipped over here. Is it going to cause everything to come to a complete stop? Probably not. but it's definitely going to bottleneck things. When you have all those goods and all those ships all being, concentrated down into to maybe one or two or just a small handful of ports, it's certainly going to bottleneck the whole system. And it's going to cause more chaos when it comes to the American supply chain, where we don't have the stuff. There's a lot of parts, a lot of things that are used in the industrial areas that come from China, lubrication things, certain, just parts to the equipment that they use to keep things up and running. A lot of it comes from China. And technology, a lot of technology parts come from China, manufacturing, components, full systems come from China. A lot of it, not everything. And having this, being shut down, even if it's only shut down for just a few weeks, we've seen how even just a small shutdown of a certain area can just cause this snowball effect. And here we are dealing with our supply chain in its probably most fragile situation that we've ever seen. I think it's worse than it's been over the past couple of years. We're seeing less and less stuff in the stores. And here we are with one more hit against it. So just keep on your toes. Like I said, if you have things that you normally purchase and they're from China, maybe it's some of those things that you don't have any other option, you might want to stock up on them. If you have equipment that's maybe some of those parts come from China, to keep it maintained, it wouldn't be a bad idea if you're able to stock up on some of those maintenance items, because we don't know. We don't know how long that's going to last. We don't know how long this is going to affect everything. I did see, and it didn't list, these articles that I was reading, it didn't list every single area and company that was going to be affected by this. It did list a few, and a couple that I noticed was Volkswagen and Toyota. If you own either of those vehicles and the parts that you're getting are from that area, it might be something to look at. Other car manufacturing components are in those towns it was mentioning are going to be facing some lockdown. What they're doing is they're locking down the whole cities, and their form of lockdown is people just aren't even allowed to leave their home, period, for any reason whatsoever. They're just shutting everything down, and here we are grinding to a halt at least certain parts of the supply chain. And as much as you want to be pro-American and buy American, that's great, but our economy, our supply chain and everything, it's all very globalized and highly dependent upon China, unfortunately. And this is just one more blow against our system. So I just wanted to bring that to you because it's very possible that this is going to affect us very negatively on top of what we've already been dealing with. So folks, get yourselves ready, prepare, get your houses in order, get yourselves mentally, physically, and especially spiritually prepared, because as we all know that we are in this full blown now, and we've got to keep our wits about us, keep ourselves ready, because it seems like every day there's a new turn to this. All right, folks, thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.